Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rufus and in this video I'm going to bark and ask for all the attention. Hey, you know what we're doing? Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and we're going to pick my August TBR. For this TBR picking video we're going to use a spinning wheel. So I have created a wheel purely because I don't know what I want to do going forward. I don't know if I want to carry on with a TBR jar. Even though it is so fun, I just want to switch things up, but I also love picking a monthly TBR. My thoughts are we pick 5 prompts, that's what I did last month, and of the books that I wanted to read last month that we chose for my TBR, I think I ended up reading 3 of them. 5 books, plus one that I know that I definitely have to read because it is the book for my book club this month. Together we are going to be reading One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I don't know anything about this, but my impression of it is sort of like reflection and I don't know, just maybe like looking back, possibility, and that sort of vibe. And I'm really excited to read it because I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love her. So this is definitely on the TBR for this month, but we should pick some prompts, right? We should do that. Okay, so let's spin the wheel. I can't remember how many prompts I put on here. I want to say like maybe 12, 13 prompts. A book to make you reflect. Okay. I personally think that that's kind of the vibe of the end of summer. I was born at the start of September, so I find that like start of the school year a very like refreshing starting again sort of time. So I really like sort of like wrapping up August feeling like I've achieved things and feeling like I've had a really good break, even though I worked through summer. But anyway, we need to pick some books for this prompt, so let me have a look for a book that I think will make me reflect. We have What a Time to Be Alive by Jenny Mustard. I haven't heard anyone talk about this book, but I read the blurb in Waterstones. It says, tender and intelligent, What a Time to Be Alive is a story about class, sex, loneliness and the trials of young womanhood, about asking yourself the question, how much of myself am I willing to sacrifice to be simply normal? Whoa. I'm pretty sure this book is about trying to find a fresh start, but then sort of kind of rethinking what you're looking for in that start anyway. And I just get summer vibes from it as well. It just, I don't know, it looks like summer. It feels like a little bit of a summer reflection. I have a good feeling about it, plus it's kind of nice. Like I feel like it's going to be a nice reading experience because it's a little bit floppy. So yeah, we could pick this one. And then we have Talking at Night. This is by Claire Daverley. I believe this is a second chance romance, and there is honestly just nothing in this world that makes me reflect and think about all the possibility in the world like a second chance romance does. I like the font on this cover. That's probably one of the main reasons why I picked it up. I'm pretty sure I got it secondhand. I don't think I have many second chance romances on my TBR, and this just feels like something that I need to get back into. I'm not sure how well it fits the prompt though, but it is an option. And then finally I have The Correspondent by Virginia Evans, because for some reason I can put this on every TBR this year and just still not pick it. It's giving Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid in 2025. I just think the themes of, you know, deciding to constantly write letters as you grow old, the theme of just correspondence in a different way. I think that this is gonna fit the prompt really well. I've seen that Sarah Caroli started writing letters after reading this book, so I think that this could definitely make me reflect. Out of these 3 books, I do think What a Time to Be Alive is the one that's speaking to me the most in terms of relatability and reflection, because the amount of times that I feel like I need to just start over and be a new person. And I am a young woman and this is about young womanhood. I don't know, I really think that this could be the one. So yeah, for a book that's gonna make me reflect, we're gonna pick What a Time to Be Alive by Jenny Mustard. Okay, let's pick our second prompt. On the summer TBR. Okay, I picked 9, maybe 10 books for my summer TBR, but this is one that I believe I'm going to be buddy reading, so probably good for me to pick this one and know that I'm going to hopefully get through it if I get round to this buddy read. This is What If I Never Get Over You by Paige Toon, and I think I read maybe 30 pages of it last year and I just wasn't in the mood for it, but I think it's a book about travel, meeting someone while you're traveling, specifically interrailing, I think, in Portugal this one is set. And I think it also might be second chance. There is a part of me that thinks I might potentially DNF this book because I remember the writing being quite simplistic and things felt quite quick. But I also understand why it might be quick if it was second chance. I do think that I want to pick this one because if I'm not reading it this summer, it's probably time for me to unhaul it. So yeah, for a book on my summer TBR, we're going to pick What If I Never Get Over You by Paige Toon. Okay, swiftly moving on to prompt number 3. Okay, that says beach vibes. I've picked 2 romance books. We have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune and Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. I have read a lot, if not all of Carly Fortune's other books. I'm not sure why I think that this is one of my friend's favourites of hers, so that could be really nice. Like, knowing the tone of Carly Fortune books, I do just think that this is beach vibes. Like, this is don't talk to me for 4 hours because I'm going to consume this whole book, you know, in the sand. That just sounds wonderful. But then we have Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. I'm not actually sure what this book is about, but it literally has beach. It has beach, it has like beach house. Yeah, it just seems like, sorry, mind my nails, they're absolutely vile. This is a second chance romance, so I think I'm just gonna have a look and see what Meet Me at the Lake is, because I don't think we need to be reading for second chance vibes. Oh my god, this is also a second chance romance. Shall I just wrap up Carly Fortune's backlist? Shall I do that? But I've never read anything by Annabelle Monaghan, so what shall I do? I think I'm going to go with Meet Me at the Lake. Honestly, my romance TBR is so big and I just haven't been reading contemporary romance. I've actually, plot twist, I've been reading fantasy and fiction over the past 6 weeks. So this is a welcome change. I could really do with reading some of my romance TBR. Let's just bloody do it. A book that gives me beach vibes. No explanation needed. We have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I would really like to pick some fiction / fantasy, so let's spin the wheel again. Flowers on the cover. Okay, that definitely gives me some potential fantasy reads, I think. Let me have a little look. Okay, so I've picked 2 fantasy reads because surprisingly none of my fiction books have flowers on the cover. I don't know what I expect them to have, but I thought maybe one of them might. Well, first up we have Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I think this could be fun. I know that there's a dance element to this, and what a beautiful, stunning book. I'm back in my fantasy era and I think that I could really enjoy this, and because I've been getting caught up with some fantasy books, I think it's okay for me to potentially start a new series and just see how I feel about it. This is also on my summer TBR, so this will feel really good. The second option is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. If you can't tell, there are some little lilac flowers on the sides of this book. I recently picked this as a potential in my Survivor TBR Island video, and this is also a book that I think I could potentially DNF. So do I just try? Do I say, okay, let me attempt this, and if I don't like it, doesn't matter. My whole heart wants to read A Dance of Lies, so I think that means I should probably pick Bonded by Thorns, because even though I don't want to read it, I want to get it off the TBR. Oh, I've just seen the front has some very, very dark artwork. Let me have a look at this. This says 4 handsome fair princes, 1 awkward bookworm, an enchanted veil, a beastly curse to break. So I think it might be a Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling, but also potentially, is this what we call reverse harem? Is that what this is? where basically there's one girl and like 19 guys. I don't know, but we're going to pick it. So for a book with flowers on the cover, we're going to be reading Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. Let's pick our final prompt. We're going to pick the final book that we're going to read. This is recommended by a friend or family member. Immediately think Yesteryear. My sister read this and she loved it. She read this exact copy. She borrowed it before I got to it, and she really liked it. She said that she thinks I'm gonna really enjoy it. But there is another book that comes to mind, and it's Into the Blue by Emma Brodie, which is on my Kindle TBR. I'm not 100% sure what it's about. I think it might have something to do with music, but that could be incorrect. My sister read it and she said that she thinks I'm going to really love it because I love things about famous people, actresses, musicians and things like that. I tend to really like that niche in my books. So that's also an option. Let me just have another quick look around, see if there's anything that I'm missing. So I actually did a book swap probably a year ago with one of my friends from dance, and we swapped books, as you do, and one of the books that she gave me was Heartburn. This is by Nora Ephron. 7 months into her pregnancy, Rachel, a cookery writer, discovers that her husband is in love with another woman. The fact that the other woman has a neck as long as an arm and a nose as long as her thumb is no consolation. Heartburn is a roller coaster of love, betrayal, revenge, and how to make the perfect souffle. Nora Ephron shows us that the pen is mightier than the sword in the Romanoclef. I don't know what that means. I always thought during the pain of the marriage that one day it would make a funny book, Ephron once said, and it is. So I'm pretty sure my friend said that when she'd finished the book, she realised that Nora Ephron's actual marriage and her actual struggles were like a part of this book. They were sort of inspiration, and like they actually make their way into the writing, I think. This is evidently not something that I currently have on the monthly TBR. Something with a little bit of a different humour to it as well. So shall we do it? Shall I try to read Heartburn by Nora Ephron? Yeah, I think I should probably do that. So these are the 6 books that I'm hoping to get to in August. We have One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, my book club book this month. We have What a Time to Be Alive by Jenny Mustard. What If I Never Get Over You by Paige Toon, Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, and Heartburn by Nora Ephron. If you want to see me read any of these books in reading vlogs, please comment down below. Let me know what you're going to be reading in August, and don't forget to like and subscribe and do all of that good stuff that, you know, helps push the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.